Hello, my name is Laura Rogedo and I'm a fashion designer, pattern making and sewing instructor from Brazil. In this video, I'm walking you through how to take your waist and hip measurement and how to draft and cut the circle skirt. There are three most common types of circle skirt, and they can also be named godet skirt. These are simple patterns, and this is an opportunity for you to make your own skirt using different fabrics and the patterns that you like. If you like drafting and sewing, subscribe to my channel and leave your comment. I would love to read it. You can make a quarter, a half, or a full circle skirt. The full circle skirt, as the name says, it's a circle. The waist is the inner circle. Your waist needs to be here. This is the fullness of the skirt, and this is the hem. The half one is half of a circle, and the waist needs to be here. The whole waist needs to be in half of a circle. Now here I have the 1/4 of a circle, the 1/4 circle skirt, and the whole waist needs to be here. You can see that one differs from another. This one is the one who has the most fullness. In order to draft the skirt, you need to find the radius of the circumference. And here is where math comes in. But don't worry, I'm showing you the math, but you don't need to memorize it. I'll give you, after that, a ready-made formula. I'll just explain the reason of this formula first. Let's begin with the full circle. This is the waist, and I already know its measurement. The waist is above the belly button, your belly button, and under the last rib. The narrowest part of your torso here. Find it and measure around it. And this is one of the measurements you need. The length of your skirt will be up to you. Measure it from your waist down, like this. Later, we'll talk a little bit more about the hip measurement. I need to find the radius that is here, from this point to this point, to draft the waist properly. So the formula that connects it is circumference equals 2 pi r. Okay, it is scary, I know that, but don't worry, then I'm going to make it easier. C is for circumference. R is for radius. This is pi, that is 3.14. It's a ready-made formula. Let's figure it out. My waist is 70 centimeters. You can already add to this measurement the seam allowance, okay? So I can use my waist as a 72 centimeters waist, or around 28 3/8 of an inch. This is my circumference. This is C. I know that pi is a fixed measurement, so now I'll do the math. 72 centimeters or 28 3/8 inches is equal to 2 times 3.14 times radius. I'll make it like this. 72, 6.28, because I already did that, radius. So the radius is 72 centimeters, that is my waist, by 6.28. This is how I find the radius of my full circle skirt. So the result is around 11.5 centimeters or 4 inches and a half from the corner of the piece of paper, mark 11.5 centimeters or 4.5 inches. You can do it like that, drawing like a compass, rotating the tape measure. By doing this, I'm drawing a quarter of the pattern, okay? I'm drafting a quarter of the pattern. This is my waist, 1/4 of my waist. So I need to measure it, and then I have to draw the skirt length. Imagine that I want a 50 centimeter skirt length or around 20 inches. And then I do the same thing here. I'm going to mark the length. I can rotate the tape measure like this, or I can measure it again from the corner. It is now 61.5 centimeters, and I'm going to rotate just like a compass again from the corner. So if you have here 1/4 of your waist, you need to cut this pattern 4 times or 2 times on a fold, okay? And then you have your whole waist in it. Okay, now I've cut the small samples, and just to show you how you're going to cut your pattern. We drafted like this, 1/4 of the full skirt. So I'm going to cut here, the waist, and then I have the skirt. So I'm going to show you how to cut it with these small samples. I have here this calico raw cotton woven fabric. Okay, here I have the selvage, the straight grain, and here I have the cross grain. I'll probably won't be able to make it like this because it's going to be a huge pattern. You can copy your pattern twice and do like this, aligned to the selvage, or you can fold your fabric, just copy twice and cut it on fold. Then you can fold it this way and this way, and only use your original pattern that you have drafted with 1/4 of it, but you won't be able to do it if your skirt is too long, probably. Here I have the whole skirt without any seam. Since I've done it with a 2 centimeter seam allowance, I can cut it and sew my zipper here. The next thing we're going to do is the half circle skirt. Instead of dividing the waist measurement by 2 pies or 6.28, you're going to divide it by pi, only 3.14. So I'm using the waist measurement of 72 centimeters. I'm going to divide 72 centimeters by 3.14. I'll have 22.92, 23, around 23 centimeters, the double of the last one. So 23 centimeters, I'll have around 9 inches. I'll do the same thing to draft the waist. Here I have half of my waist. Not 1/4 anymore, half of it. So now I'm going to draw the length. I'm going to make it a little shorter. So I need to cut it twice, 2 times, or 1 time on a fold, okay? And then I'll have the whole waist measurement in this skirt. I did the same thing to the half circle skirt. This is the amount of fullness. You can see the difference. The half circle skirt can also fold the fabric like this selvage over itself. So with the quarter pattern and the folded fabric, I can cut it like this, and then I'll have the entire skirt, the whole skirt. Or I can copy the skirt and cut it twice, like this. One edge aligned to the selvage, to the straight grain, the other edge aligned to the cross grain. Doing like this, I'll have two seam allowances, side seam allowances. Doing the other way, I'll have only one seam allowance. I'll do the other way to show you. I'll have only one seam allowance. You can put it on the back. The quarter circle skirt is drafted by dividing your waist measurement by 1.57, like half of pi. You have to cut it only once and your skirt is ready. The whole waist is going to be drafted here. Let's do it. 72 centimeters by 1.57, 45.85. I'm going to put 46 centimeters and it's around 18 inches and 1/8. So you're going to need some room to draft this one because your whole waist is going to be here. I'm going to prove that to you in a minute. Let's measure it. Everything that's curved, you can measure with your tape, measure like this. So you can see a little bit more because I used 46 centimeters and it was like 45.8, but you can see that my whole measurement is here. And now I'm going to draft the length just as I did with the other skirts. And this is the quarter skirt that I cut it only once, and this is the amount of fullness. This one, you have to analyze the hip measurement because this skirt doesn't have a lot of fullness. So you have to measure here from your waist down your hip height and measure here if your hip is fully covered. You have to do it like this to see if it's going to be enough. Your hip height is around 20 centimeters or 8 inches. So it is the length between the waist and the hip. I measure it from the side here. Okay, this is a standard height, but your hip is the widest part here of this part of the body, the widest part of your hip. You need to measure around it. Okay, now with the quarter skirt, I have the whole skirt here. So I can just align one side of it, align to it, and the other side on the cross grain. And I'll have the whole skirt. To draft your waistband, you can draft a straight waistband using your waist measurement. And if I want a 3 centimeter waistband, I'm going to make it double because I need the waistband for the right side and also for the wrong side of the skirt, just a straight one. And then here is where I'm going to fold it, and I'm going to add the seam allowances. And I also need seam allowances here, 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 and here. You can add 1 centimeter seam allowance or half of an inch seam allowance around it, and this is your waistband. You can even add more if you want it to be bigger, so you can add a button or a hook. It's up to you. You can draw it. You can draw the whole waistband or just half of it. Cut this part on fold if you want, if it's better, or you can only draw the whole waistband. So in order to make it simpler, to draft the full circle skirt, divide your waist plus the seam allowance by 6.28 or only 6. To draft the half circle skirt, divided by 3.14 or only 3. And to draft the quarter circle skirt, divide your waist by 1.57 or only 1.5. So, I explained you the reason why it is done this way, but you can only memorize these math formulas. That's it! If you like my video, please subscribe to my channel and include your comments below. I would love to read them. Tell me if you could make a circle skirt based in this tutorial. See you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.